All right, guys, let's talk Bighorn Sheep strategy. This one's a little different for me. I had to think about this one as far as how I shot it when it first came out because it's new this year. So the way I look at it is it's kind of deceiving to the eyes. And you really got to think about it because most of the time when we're aiming off these targets, we can see the insert right here, the cutout. That's usually the most visible thing, especially when it's farther out. So when you're looking at that, the 10 insert is low in the cutout, meaning the lower 12 is deceivingly low. And most of the time you're going to end up hitting the center 10 or the IBO when you're trying to hit that lower because this thing feels really, really low. So for me, again, I'm an upper guy. I'm going for the upper. One of the main reasons on a lot of these big body targets, because you have a lot of options, you need to know what is your miss. What do you typically miss when you're gonna miss? And that's something you just got to know about yourself. For me, when I miss, it's typically low. I usually drop out the bottom. So I err on the side of caution to give myself the best chance to at least stay at 10 if I do happen to make a mistake. So I aim at mostly uppers. So if I do drop out, I still got that shot at staying in the 10 ring. I very rarely do I push out the top. So that's why I typically do uppers. So know that about yourself when you're aiming on a lot of these targets. But for this one in particular, because this 10 ring right here is so low in the insert, you're typically going to end up shooting it a little high. So for me, I go ahead and just shoot the upper anyways. There's a little bit of this muscle group right here that you can come straight out right here to the left. So you see this big muscle patch. You can usually see it really well. If you find the top of the muscle patch, come over, there's your upper. If you want the lower, you can actually find the bottom of the muscle patch and come straight over. But you got to think where the bottom of that muscle patch is, it's right at the very bottom of the lower. So if you drift at all below the bottom of that muscle patch, you're going to find the 8. And the 8 to the, I mean, you got a big gap right there between the 8 and the 5. So it's not a big deal for that. Same way up here, you've got a huge gap from the 8 to the 10, the 8 to the 5 ring. So not a big deal there. But again, just be careful when you're aiming at this. Find your best reference points. And again, know your miss. Know what to aim as far as having some caution there. So there you go. There's the Bighorn Sheep.